Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, it's not going to be a tutorial. I'm going to be more educating you on blonde hair and blonde hair upkeep. So first I want to get into talking about the process of going blonde. So in hair, as cosmetology teaches us, hair has 10 different levels. Sometimes it can go to an 11 if you're super white. But number 1 is the blackest of black, 10 is the most platinum blonde. So as you go up the level of colors from dark to light, you're going to see underlying pigments of blue to red to orange to gold. So when you lift hair, you're taking it from dark to light, you're going to be exposing the underlying pigments in your hair. So what that means is, for me, I am about a level 6 natural hair color. So I only have to go through the stage orange to yellow. So my hair lifts very easily when I apply bleach to it. Okay, I just wanted to add this picture in here from Lisa Loves Balayage on Instagram because her swatch book is a lot more clear than what mine is. So as you can see, the hair color you want to achieve, and you move over and you can see the underlying pigment of that. So there's lots of reds, oranges, and yellows in that. So Lisa Loves Balayage has great education if you want to check her out on Instagram. I'm going to show you another picture by her, and it's got a naturally dark hair color, a naturally light hair color, and then a previously hair color with lightener applied to them. And you can see as they are developing, they're all developing with the underlying pigment showing. So the naturally dark and the naturally light, they're maybe the same level of blonde, but they're different tones of blonde because you're exposing different underlying pigments. So there's more orange, and then on the naturally dark, and then there's more yellow on the naturally light. And then the previously colors, there's a lot more you have to fight through in order to achieve blonde. So I just wanted to show you these pictures as they're better visual than the things that I have. So because I have a lighter starting base, I don't have to go through so much to get to a blonde. But if I were to take a level 2 or a 3, I would have to pull them all the way up to this. So that is a lot of underlying pigment that we have to break through. That's why they say going blonde takes a process, because if you're this dark, we cannot lift you all the way to this part in 2 hours. It could take up to 16 hours, 2 sessions. So I wanted to bring that up because when you lift your hair, you're essentially poking holes in your hair. We call it, your hair is porous. So my hair is a good example. My hair is porous on the ends because it's translucent. They're dead because they've been bleached a little bit too much. So they're porous, so they don't hold moisture very easily. It doesn't hold color very easily. If I were to just color over that porous hair, it wouldn't hold it very well. It'd be very patchy. I probably need a trim. But anyways, so the more, for going from dark to light, my hair is going to lift differently than if you have a level 2 hair. So imagine I get a brown piece of paper and I start poking holes through that paper with a little needle, and I hold it up to the light like a window or something, and the light shines through. The more holes that you poke, the lighter that paper is going to appear. So at the same time, if I were to get a yellow piece of paper and poke holes, it would take less holes to appear the same, to make them equal. You would have to poke way more holes in the brown piece of paper than in the yellow piece of paper for them to be the same level of lightness. And even then, they're still not going to look exactly the same because the base color is different. Anyways, I hope I'm going somewhere with this. Someone requested, I was doing someone's hair and they were asking me all about blonde hair care maintenance, and someone had requested this, so hopefully I make sense. I hope I don't go too in-depth. I hope I keep it simple for you, but sometimes my brain doesn't, it holds all the information, but I spit it out horribly. And I hope this is an interesting video. Anyways, so the more, I was talking about papers and holes. So if you have a piece of paper and you put water on it, the water kind of will stay on that paper for a while until it gets soggy and breaks through. If you get that brown piece of paper that you poked a lot of holes with the needle and you put water in it, it's weaker. It doesn't hold that water. So essentially when you are lightening your hair, you are making the hair weaker. You're poking little holes into it to expose that lightness, expose underlying pigments in it as well. So you're poking a ton of tiny holes, so you are damaging the hair. That's the only way you can lighten your hair. So obviously if you are naturally lighter hair colored, your hair goes through less damage than if you have dark hair. You have to be patient with the process and know that your hair is not going to be super soft, it's not going to be flexible, it's going to be crunchy, it's going to be dried out. So there are things that we can do to help our hair stay healthy, in a sense, to feel better, to maintain that blonde. And another thing about blonde hair, and any hair in general, if you ever color your hair, nothing is permanent. Even if the little box says permanent hair dye, it's never going to be permanent. It's always going to fade. So when I lift the tones out of your hair from this, when I lift it out, so when I lift the tones out of your hair from the dark to the light, it's always gonna fade and the underlying pigment is gonna show up eventually. So you always hear blondes talk about, my hair's so brassy, it's so brassy. Yes, there can be beautiful golden blondes, but a lot of the time it turns out very brass looking. So we always put a toner over the top. No matter what anyone tells you, every single person lifts warm toned. Nobody puts bleach on their hair and turns white unless you've bleached the heavens out of your hair and it's damaged and it's cotton candy and it pulls apart so easy. I don't know if you've ever seen anyone's hair just rip apart. It's sad. But anyways, nobody's hair lifts cool toned. So a lot of the times you want to fight with the warmth, and so we put a toner over the top. So what a toner is, it's like a gloss, a demi-permanent hair color over the top of the blonde that you just bleached, and it tones it to the tone of blonde you want. There's so many tones of blonde, and say I want to look vanilla-y blonde, I would choose a toner that would counteract the warmth in my hair to turn it to the vanilla-y blonde. Anyways, so eventually toners fade. Eventually the warmth underneath your hair starts showing through because you poke so many holes in the hair, essentially. So things that you can do to keep your hair looking bright and fresh is use a purple shampoo. My favorite right now is the Pravana Cleanse, the Perfect Blonde. I'm just going to show you really quick how purple this is. Can you see that? It's very pigmented. A lot of the times if you go to a drugstore and buy their drugstore purple shampoo, open the bottle lid and look at how light it is. If it's a light color, it's not going to affect the tone of your hair at all. You need it to be a dark one. So Matrix brand has a really good purple shampoo. I like the Pravana right now is what I've been using. Fanola No Yellow shampoo is beautiful. It's a little pricey, but I really like it. Anyways, so when your hair starts to turn yellow, if you look at the opposite of the color wheel of what yellow is, it's violet. So you're gonna put that over the top and it neutralizes the color to make it more bright again. I'm gonna go wash my... Okay, another thing about that you can do for blonde hair is there's also purple conditioners. I really like this Pravana one. As you can see, it's very purple as well. It smells so good. Oh, it's popping out. Do you see that? Anyway, I really like that purple conditioner. But if you had to choose, I would choose a purple shampoo because it really goes into the hair. As I talked about before, your hair is weakened when you lighten it. So I would really recommend using the Olaplex, anything from their line. It goes into your hair and rebuilds the bonds in your hair. So bonds break. They're called disulfide bonds that build your hair. They break as you lighten your hair. So Olaplex is a new thing, kind of like 7 years old or something, and it's patented to go into your hair and rebuild those disulfide bonds. So I have been using this Olaplex Bond Smoother in my hair. I just use it after I shampoo and condition, and then it's like a leave-in styling thing after, so it helps your hair be smooth. Like I said, when you lift your hair, it becomes dry and kind of crunchy. Another product is a deep conditioning mask by Biolage. I've been using this Fiber Strong mask, and so I put it in my hair for 5 to 10 minutes in the shower, rinse it out, and my hair is soft again and strong. I love hair masks. I think that deep conditioners are super important if you have blonde hair. Another thing for blondes is oil. Oil the ends of your hair if you are blonde. I like to choose anything that has argan oil in it. That is the only oil which molecules are small enough to get into the hair shaft. Don't be using coconut oil. Coconut oil's molecules are way too big and they only coat your hair. And then it's also a cooking oil. So when you put coconut oil in your hair and then you go to straighten your hair, you're frying your hair. So use an argan oil, something that goes into your hair to go and nourish your hair. So I've been using this Color Proof Crazy Smooth oil. It's not my favorite oil. I haven't been loving it, and also I don't think this has argan oil in it, which is everything I just said don't do. But Moroccan oil has argan oil in it. Find anything with argan oil. You can use 100% argan oil, but just be careful with the amount you use. You want very little, because a little bit it can become too much too fast. Another thing is if you are going to have blonde hair, be prepared to not blow dry your hair all the time. I would let your hair air dry, but if you must blow dry your hair, use a heat protectant. Heat also is a way that breaks those disulfide bonds that I was talking about earlier, the bonds that build your hair. So you don't want to heat your hair too much and break those bonds. So use a heat protectant, a blow dry spray, thermal protectant. I love this Kendra Platinum blow dry spray. It smells so good, makes your hair so soft, and it cuts down your blow drying time to about 50%, which is awesome. And then last but not least, if you're going to be using a curling iron, a wand, if you're going to be using a straightener, please, this goes for even not blondes, please use a heat protectant. Please, you're cooking your hair, so you don't want to damage your hair. Once the hair is damaged, that's it, it's damaged. You can use all the Olaplex you want, and it just kind of resurfaces and helps your hair stay together, but it cannot fix it all the way. I sound like I'm rambling. I don't even know if I'm making sense. Anyway, use a heat protectant. I've been using the Kenra hot spray and I've been really loving it. So use a heat protectant, protect your hair. If you must be blonde, make sure you have a competent stylist that will take you through those stages of warmth safely. The faster you go blonde, the more holes you're putting in your hair. So like, you take your time to go blonde. It's not a fast process. You want to go low and slow, like a slow cooker. You want to cook your hair slowly so it doesn't get fried. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful to you. I talked a lot and I really hope I made sense. Please, if you have questions in the comments below, ask them. Thank you for watching. You can follow my Instagram at KimAndLo, and please give this video a like and subscribe, and I appreciate you being here. I hope I made a little bit of sense, and if not, sorry. Okay, bye.